a very, very important period in Leicester's title ambitions this year.
Loud and clear.
The referee, Ben Whitehouse, just 24. Son of Nigel Whitehouse, a referee for a long time, probably took charge of some games involving Ben and Austin. But Ben Whitehouse, was a very young referee, 24, but he's supposed to be a big talent in the refereeing business. And he's happy with all his officials. And Treviso, Benetton Treviso have the kickoff. And what a challenge in front of them tonight. But Leicester have eyes only on the prize of victory, a bonus point victory, securing a place in the quarterfinals, which a draw would be good enough for them to do, but they want and expect far, far more than that.
Back. Playing advantage offside.
They're already advantage to Leicester. Offside Treviso as Don Barrow carried, so they will have that penalty now. A couple of the visitors straying.
Offside.
Now watch their games against Stade Francais, their double header against the French side in December, and they were simply blown away, Treviso. But they have had some results in the Pro 12. They're bottom of the table, long way adrift. They have 7 points, but those 7 points all come from losing bonus points, so they have been close. And that's the smallest crumb of comfort I can offer, that they have actually pushed some sides, Llanelli Scarlets and Glasgow, they've pushed them close, so they have the ability in there somewhere.
It's games like this where you can write off form, write off everything that matters. They know that Leicester will be thinking they're coasting to European qualification. They'll see this as an opportunity for upset.
I heard Ben Whitehouse saying that Treviso were offside again. I haven't seen him offering the advantage. So Youngs fires it out. And Leicester looking to build an early attacking platform. And there are the brothers linking up, Ben to Tom, Youngs. And in goes younger brother Ben again. Some hard runners outside him there, and Adam Thompson signed a new contract extension. There's a bit of early running, and there is Tuolangi.
Rock form, rock!
This time carried by Don Barrow, a youngster, 22. 6'8" of him. And Leicester already threatening Tate. Had a little juggle with it, worked it quite well for him. Tuolangi now crashing on, has support outside him. It will be a try. Mike Fitzgerald is in. Leicester, within 2 minutes, have the opening try.
Leicester really trying to put some tempo on the game early on. It was a lovely little carry from Adam Thompson to get them on the front foot, and then as it came to this side, bit of fortune for Matthew Tate as he tries to give the ball. Freddie Burns goes long, just gets it back, and then it's a simple 2-on-1 as Tuolangi hitch kicks his way out of the tackle. Fitzgerald, a grateful recipient. Lovely little second bite of the cherry from Matthew Tate under pressure as he got the ball back to just flick it out to Tuolangi.
Well, Mike Fitzgerald has made an impact since he came to the Tigers. A New Zealander has signed this season from the Chiefs. It's Waikato Chiefs, not Exeter.
Yeah, agree.
And it will be a 7-point try as Freddie Burns adds the extra 2 to the new standard. What a start for Leicester, and exactly what Treviso were not looking for, looking to just contain the Tigers for a while at least.
Yeah, a couple of times we saw there Freddie Burns at the start of the move, coming late round the corner, changing what the defensive line, the picture they had in front of them, making players step in, which creates that extra room on the outside. We saw it the phase before with Thompson. Definite tactic for Leicester.
So the restart from Jaden Hayward, the Treviso fullback, going for length on the restart, and Treviso just trying to find position somehow. The ball is rather untidily back, gathered in by Treviso. Lucchesi, the bearded scrum half, and carried on by Ornel Gega, an Albanian-born Italian.
Move away.
Mulipola slowish to get out the way. Treviso still with it, and Hayward, who does have plenty of skill, the New Zealander, former New Zealand Sevens international, and carried in by Marco Lazzaroni. Penalty this time to Treviso, so a decent response to that early shock.
Yeah, much better play, getting some momentum of their own. Good decision making from the halfbacks on which side to attack. They forced the penalty.
They're going to take a pop at goal, and Oz is going to take us through that first try.
Well, there's always a danger when you're playing against a side like Treviso that you go a little bit too lateral, but Leicester's strength was they're going very direct. What that means is when you've got 3 defenders who are numbed up like that, it's relatively good defence on the blind side, a bit shorter numbers. Your temptation is to throw the long pass, but they don't. They get a bit of fortune and just work the ball to the outside. That's what's been good from Leicester so far. You arrive in this game thinking, oh, we should beat Treviso, and you end up throwing really wide passes way too soon. But Leicester have been very direct, very strong in the tackle, and they've reaped the benefits from it.
So the chance to respond for Treviso, get at least 3 of those points back, and it falls to James Ambrosini. Started out with Queensland Reds as a youngster. And silence at Welford Road. Good for direction, but not quite for distance, just shy.
22.
Just wanted to get something up on the board. They took a long time to get any score at all in their 2 matches against Stade Francais. The French side was scoring pretty much in both matches at a point a minute for most of the match. But again, a chance here for Treviso. Lucchesi fires it out. Little grubber kick through from Sam Christie, but easily enough watched. And here is Ambrosini again to the sky. He sends it. Beautifully taken in by Ben Youngs.
Maul!
Maul is called, then goes down.
It's now a rock! Release it!
Yeah, penalty to Leicester. We had fairly clear instructions from Ben Whitehouse.
The referee called the maul. And
maul
then
turned into a ruck.
I'm not sure you can turn a maul into a ruck, can you? If he's called maul and it collapsed, then the players are entitled to lie there.
Well, from the penalty into touch, and this is how it came about.
I've not heard it before, but I actually like the law.
Yeah,
Transferred, and then new phase.
Maybe he just felt that
the ball carrier
Leicester players
for himself.
got sort of round the corner away from Maul, almost broke out of it. I'm sure that Treviso players won't see it that way.
Leicester's line out long goes Tom Youngs, just a little bit too long perhaps, but still comes back the Tigers' way, and Burns gives it out. Good strength again.
Release!
As it's carried on, takes them once more. There's Croft. Youngs gives it out to Cole.
Rock formed!
Oh, quick hands it was from Leicester and from Gonava. Thought it might have gone forward, but into touch anyway.
A good play from Barbieri there. Tuolangi just tapping on the shoulder. They know each other well from Barbieri's time here, but Tuolangi desperate to get off that touchline and not give away the turnover of going into touch.
What a lot of people will be looking for, obviously, with regard to Tuolangi, is his fitness. Not his fitness as regard to his injury, but his match fitness. How strong does he keep going throughout the match? Because that's what will take a wee while to return.
I think that's why this is the perfect game for him to come back with his first start, because maybe slightly less pressure, and it will be more about lovely hands from Gonava, and then there he really wants to get off the touchline. You can see him trying to work, but Barbieri coming in from the side. But today is just about getting those numbers up, trying to make as many carries as possible, and using this almost as, it sounds a bit disrespectful to the opposition, but as a fitness session, and get yourself back up to match fitness, because you can train and train in the gym and on the field as much as you want, but nothing prepares you for your first game when you've had 15 months out.
Treviso line out works pretty well through from Gega to Montoriol.
All onside, fine.
And Lucchesi. Sound the purest strike. He buys a few yards up the touchline. They've got Eduardo Gori as a scrum half, who actually was playing on the wing a little bit, but he's injured at the moment. Gori, the really first choice scrum half for Italy, but Lucchesi in at number 9 today.
What Gori gives them is that ability to snipe, very like Ben Youngs. He's playing on the wing because he's got electric pace, and that ability to spot an opportunity through the breakdown and pick and go himself.
Now Treviso in defence again, and there is Tuolangi. Well stopped on this occasion by a couple of players. Francesco Minto was in there, and Young's just having a little think about things.
There's the ball.
And Crane gets it out, and Burns, the poke off the outside of the boot, bounces up nicely enough. The clearing kick just away from Hayward, and back to just about the same position for the line out.
He ended up doing really well, Hayward. He was under massive pressure.
By a spectator.
It was a reasonable kick from Freddie Burns, maybe a little bit far, but the chase was so good. Ambrosino had to offload the ball himself to Hayward, and that just gave extra time for the chasing players to get through, put pressure on the kick. He's done very well.
A look from the pull cam to the line out, and Young's once again. Last one slightly long, but this one taken down nicely by Barrow, and then there's Gonova once more.
Tackle.
Freddie Burns does really
the
well.
defence.
Freddie Burns really nice all the way to the line there. Almost broke through for the Tigers.
There's a carry from Don Barrow once again. The unmistakable figure of Mulipola.
Away, Treviso.
There is problems with injuries. And Jordan Crane carrying. Tate once more trying to glide his way through, so elusive. And Leicester threatening again. Young's quick ball, there's Gonova. What can he do? Youngs to Youngs, and on to Cole. And Cole just clinging on for a moment, and Treviso get the penalty as their reward. Hard work in defence.
Lucchesi working like an extra back row. It's just interesting, a couple of times we saw Mulipola carry the ball, we saw Gonova, but when Leicester were flying a couple of seasons ago, they were using their big three runners together. You can see Tuolangi runs that hard line, and it just attracts the defender enough in, and Gonova last season really didn't do an awful lot, and it was almost as though he was missing those big runners alongside him because he's got such electric feet. If the defender just gets pulled slightly by a Mulipola or Tuolangi, he's got the footwork to get through the gap.
Gonova just gets caught there with the pace of Burns. He finds himself 2 yards too deep. If he's right on his shoulder, Manu's taken the defender out just enough for Gonova to go through the gap, but if he finds himself 2 yards back off the pass, the defender can shift out one and make the tackle like he did.
Well, Richard Cockerell's admitted that Gonova might be off at the end of this season, getting to that stage. But of course, JP Peterson arriving though, so they're not going to be short of talent in the wings. Not straight.
Big frustrations for Geiger because they have to get some time on the ball. They can't absorb Tigers when they're patently trying to play with pace. They need to have some time with the ball in their hands, and they're not straight there.
Yes, fine.
Well, for scrum, unless I missed one, but pretty sure I haven't. It's very possible that I did, but I'm sure this is the first scrum. Always interesting. You would expect Leicester to have the upper hand here.
I don't know if you saw the game here last week. Absolute classic rugby match, Northampton versus Leicester Tigers. One of the best games I've ever seen. Only 2 scrums.
Well, yes, exactly. Here we are. There are front rows watching all around the land, cursing the stream though, and well, this might be a pattern for the match. Whenever they go to the scrum, Leicester simply rumbling over Treviso there, earning the penalty.
Yeah, it's the power of Mulipola. Cole doing his work on the tight head side, keeping straight, and that just allows Mulipola to attack Manu. Both of them powerful scrummagers, maybe not your typical technical scrummagers. It's all about brute strength, and Mulipola wins that one, but it's the hard work by Cole to keep the opposition hooker Geiger honest as well.
A good kick for touch as well from that penalty, so Youngs from deep inside the 22 taken down nicely, but then things went astray for Leicester, and Treviso doing well, carrying it out of the 22. Fielded Tommy Bell. Burns just delays the pass and then carried on by Adam Thompson. And Leicester have to build again from just inside the Treviso half. Tape this time with a poke over the top, and it's well directed, and back into the Treviso 22 they go.
Yeah, Treviso put themselves under pressure because actually they did everything right in terms of their exit. They played hard, they picked and went through the middle. Now they're having a look to see how they're defending. It's on to kick, but it's a really poor kick right down Bell's throat. If that goes to grass, suddenly they've absorbed that pressure, they've eased their way out of their 22. But now, because the kick was poor, they're right back exactly where they started.
Pressure once again on the throw of Ornell Gega.
Come on!
Done nicely once more by Montoriol.
Fine!
And Lucchesi as well. That's well played by Treviso. Exit strategy, as they say, almost up to halfway.
Just looking at the blindside defence and what it does when you concede an early try. Normally, and we saw with the try before, there's only 3 defenders there. Now there's 7. So what Leicester have got to do is they've got to change that tactic and come round the corner. They're hitting midfield, coming down the short side to stop the line speed of Treviso. But it's not working anymore because all the defenders are staying on that blind side. Get your forwards wrapping, keep going round the corner, you'll create more space.
Line out works well for Leicester and held at the back and carried by Jordan Crane. And Leicester wandering forward, but then a little mistake.
I would love to see Richard Cockrell's face because Jordan Crane just switched off at the back there. He wasn't involved in the push at all. He was sat in the armchair and the ball just knocked out of his hands. He wasn't even properly bound.
He's 3 rows behind us, Ben. You just turn round, he's just there.
Don't like to make it obvious, you can't. We can do it here more casually, although he can see that we are now watching him on the monitor.
Actually, Paolo, who'd come through the middle, was entitled to be there. Look, he's bound in there by a Leicester player, doesn't change his spine, just knocks it clear.
He's an experienced player, Filo Paolo, 22 caps for Samoa, played all 4 of their games in the World Cup recently. And he got the better of Jordan Crane there. So, scrum number 2. And Leicester will look to see if they can win this one against the head. Treviso, let's just get it out of there quickly.
Manu not looking overly comfortable on this side.
You hit too low, that's how you went underneath. Okay. I know exactly what you mean, yeah.
Salesi Manu,
Keep your binds nice and long.
former Australian under-20, although it's an Australian pedigree in terms of scrummaging. He came with Jaden Hayward actually from Western Force. They both came over to join Treviso. And here he is up against Mulipola.
Up. Gentlemen, we're going to bring it closer together.
Front row mutterings
together,
of discontent.
There was too much of a lean on, we cannot have it, okay?
Occasionally on the ref's mic we get some words that perhaps we shouldn't hear, but I love the access it gives. The few quips we hear. Loved Wayne Barnes last week when Ben Youngs asked if he could go quickly with the tap and go. Wayne Barnes said, "No, we can't, your brother's fighting."
That was very, very good. Right, let's get this scrum over and done with. A little bit more robust from Treviso on this occasion, but then on the loose head it looked to be struggling. Down they go. Penalty to Leicester. Alberto De Marchi.
Okay, the pressure come on first of all, leave the road.
So there are a couple of scrums and a couple of penalties for Leicester from them.
To the corner. We've seen them play with a bit of balance so far. We've seen them attack with the line-out drive from outside the 22. Pretty sure they'll have a little bite of this one with a driving play. Crane last to come in. Ben Young's very slow to get there, so it'll be a 6-man with Crane operating as the scrum half to go straight in on the ball.
More played advantage, 3 lifters.
advantage to Leicester as well. They have that penalty coming, but they move it as a free attack for them now. Fling it wide. Tate trying to skirt and skip his way through, loses the ball, but back they come for that penalty, and there's a little bit of a disagreement off the ball as well.
Number 3, you're sacking a lifter.
Yeah, just explain the referee's decision. You're allowed to tackle the guy who comes down with the ball, but you can't take the 2 guys that have lifted him up in the air.
You must sack the player with the ball.
Discussion.
Okay.
Salesi Manu admits his culpability, and Leicester go into a huddle to discuss what to do from this lineup, because that is how close they are.
It just showed with Leicester playing off it how you can attract the defenders with that drive if the ball's released at the right time. This time Leicester will try and take it all the way to the line, but Ben Youngs needs to be the eyes and ears, and as soon as extra players come in, he needs to be asking Jordan Crane to break out.
Crane has it still, steering things at the back, over the line, they go down, they go surely. Crane, the referee, having a long look, Ben Whitehouse.
Time off.
So it will go to the TMO, you would imagine. But from that view, you would have thought it has to be a try. Getting the applause,
but did you have a ground in? No.
There we are. Draw the television in the sky and send it to Derek Bevan.
I'm not 100% sure, because it looked like Tom Croft went over and asked.
The ball definitely travelled over the line, but I didn't see whether it was grounded, because players came on top of it.
I'm not sure whether Jordan Crane knows.
Let's
have a look where the line is, see if the ball lands first. There's a foot underneath there initially. You look from the other side. There is a shin underneath, isn't there? A blue sock.
Yeah, might have landed just on his leg.
There's no clear evidence.
Bev, just to make you aware, it's unclear where I am, quite a distance away from the
Okay, no worries.
Well, if those are the views to work with, I'm not sure they are conclusive.
Important that the question is try yes or no, because unless we can see it clearly, they won't be able to give the try.
They haven't got any more angles.
Okay, from that, I know the ball was over the line. It looks like there's a ground in there.
There's one coming by here now.
Okay.
Watch the work. It's Robert Barbieri, number 8. Watch his leg. Get in there. Crafty leg. Against his old team.
I don't think that's conclusive. Also,
from the previous one, Ben, it looked as if he grounded the ball on a leg.
And he grounded it on a leg.
Yeah, so I would recommend scrum 5 attacking ball.
It's a scrum 5 attacking ball. He's grounded it on a leg.
I don't think Ben was ready for the final part of that sentence. He's grounded it.
He was about to get the penalty.
On a leg. On a leg, you say? So back they come. The boos around Welford Road, but I think that's the right decision.
Yeah, Jordan Crane didn't know. You can just tell in a player's face when he gets up. He's trying his best poker face not to give away that he wasn't sure.
They're all still surprised. On a leg? I've never heard of such a thing. A leg on a rugby pitch. But anyway, they'll try again from 5 metres out, although they won't have the... well, they'll have the... I mean, you'd imagine from this position, with this scrum, that a try is still imminent, but denied on that occasion.
It's about a little bit of patience here for Leicester.
Yeah, one, let's see it, please. One, shoulder, good.
Might be a couple of collapses, but they'd fancy the way the first 2 scrums have gone and be able to drive Treviso over the line. There's the strike.
Solid at the moment, a little bit of creaking in the front rows. And a bit of slipping from the boots as well. Then they get the drive on, and Ben White has having a look. Penalty try is the decision. So Leicester finally get their try from Mr. Penalty, the second try of the match. 20 minutes gone. It's taken a while, but 2 tries, the second one to celebrate.
Yes,
I think the only person that will disagree with that penalty try is Jordan Crane, because he still managed to score the try himself, and it won't get notched up to his tally. But yeah, the initial shunt comes on as they go across. You can see Manu going across at the angle through onto Tom Youngs.
Well, penalty try, I'll say, right in front of the post. The conversion is through, and 14-0 the lead. But there was a little bit of a stalling of the Leicester scoring after that, a very early try within a couple of minutes, and it's taken them 18 minutes to get the second. Tom Youngs is still baffled by the touchdown in the leg. He'll tell that in his after-dinner speeches. On a leg. 14-0, Leicester, halfway to their bonus point target. There's Marius Goosen, who's a sort of interim head coach with Kieran Crowley coming in.
It's just...
So they go for length again at the restart, and
that's
decent
just
return from Leicester.
Yeah, Treviso just can't get out of their own half, can they? And more importantly, into the Leicester 22. They just need to put that right. That's a slight win from the kick-off, but now they need to make sure they keep hold of the ball and get themselves into Leicester's threatening attacking areas.
Alberto Lucchesi, the Treviso scrum half, has just been told to keep his thoughts to himself.
5. Hold their greens.
And Giga, delay on the throw, and the target was Lazzaroni, but initially went wrong, but went backwards, so Treviso still with good ball to attack from, and carried on by Filopolo. And there is Barbieri, chunky back rower, lays it back well enough, and Lazzaroni.
Fight.
And Ambrosini gives it on to Scarby, and Ambrosini takes the return. And there's Jaden Hayward. So Treviso try and build something. Good tackle coming in on Alberto De Marchi. And Jordan Crane romping through there and trying to disrupt things, and Leicester get the penalty.
On top of it. March back here.
Yeah, that's a story of Treviso's woes at the moment, isn't it? A little bit of inaccuracy. Freddie Burns goes quick with a crossfield kick.
Oh, and this might work well. How will it bounce for the on-rushing Thompson? He's quick thinking and well placed, and Thompson feeds it on to Tate, and Tate now to Tuolangi. Tuolangi, a little slip and then steadies himself. Hurls himself onward and carried on now by Tommy Bell into the 22. West forward, but off a boot, says the referee. So Burns gives it beautiful pass into the breadbasket of Ben Whitehouse.
Well, that was really bright play from Thompson, because he realised
it's a kick to touch. No one touched it. It's their ball. It's from a penalty. It has to be
tap
theirs.
the ball before he went.
From a penalty.
That's what they're asking.
From a penalty. I'm happy.
Well, Treviso, this is the pass. The Treviso were upset because they felt that they couldn't have had a quick line out, but the ball wasn't touched from a penalty as it went out into touch, so it was Leicester's line out. Good hands, no knock on. And we'll go to the scrum again to restart. And Leicester in a good position here. They've got it's near enough centre. There's a huge blind side. Options to think about here in attack.
Crouch. Bind. Set. Hold.
Frustratingly down again in the front row. Pitch on the finest shape.
See you again, lads.
That's some of the best East Midlands mud you can possibly find.
Come out a little bit, lads.
It is good in that respect. It is. I love it.
I think in particular in the goal area.
Well, yes, that is some desert wasteland, but
keep those feet underneath.
But it is a fine stand. What a ground now. Over 25,000 were here last week.
Crouch.
Quite so many here this evening. There's still a decent turnout. More solid scrum.
Ball's out.
And Crane gives it on to Youngs. And there's Freddie Burns. And on to Tuolangi to Tate. And Tate himself gone outside, but Tate sliding his way closer to the line. And Leicester with Crane now. Can he get his try? No, just short. And still they come. Mulipola just hanging on to that one. Cole now.
Tackle.
Taken now well by Filopolo. Tate leaping around, crying for that ball from Youngs. Youngs spins himself. Not quite there. So in comes Crane once again. Desperate for his try, scrabbling on. Yes! No double movement. Penalty Treviso. I didn't think it was a double movement initially, but the referee did.
His knees were on the floor. You can't scrabble along the ground with the ball. That's right. I just think Matthew Tate will be a little bit disappointed with himself. Very easy to say with hindsight, as he showed and went himself. If he'd just done the same thing and pumped the pass as he gets it, if he pumps it, holds the defender, then gives it, well, maybe not. Maybe he did the right thing. Good cover from Treviso. Does he get into touch anyway? Yeah, foot's down on the whitewash. That's a line out, so it would have been a very unfair on Treviso had Crane legally managed to scrabble over the line.
No, yes.
I don't think he makes it anyway.
No, double movement and short. But my goodness, he's trying, Jordan Crane. Ward loves a try. Apollo takes it down. Here's a Barbieri, number 8, smuggling, sly. Oh, nobody there. Back it comes to Lucchesi. Carried back into the 22. Goneva. Out it goes from Bell to Tate. So Leicester still in the attack, still looking for try number 3. Tuolangi timed his pass well and onto Goneva, and then through the hands of Crane, and the forwards juggling with it. And Treviso come away with it. Barbieri's been busy for Treviso in this first quarter and a bit of the match. And trying to attack from some depth here. Scarby gives it on to Sam Christie. And Leicester come again through Tommy Bell. Puts it on nicely to Fitzgerald, and then Leicester get themselves on the front foot. Everyone having a say in this as well. Nobody is quiet. Goneva doing a bit again. Just to the edge of the 22. Tuolangi. And Crane is halted. Freddie Burns feels that from Philo Polo. Tuolangi again from a standing start and into Barbieri.
Release! Treviso, release!
Once more to Graham Kitchener. Lumpen figure carries it again to the 22. Burns for himself to chase. No, but instead it will fall surely to Goneva for the try. Number 3 for the Tigers is there now inside the half-hour mark. And Nicky Goneva scored many tries in his long career, but another one there made by Burns.
Yeah, again Freddie Burns coming late round the corner, which causes the problem. Defenders step in, little chip over the top, no sweeper in behind, and Goneva on his bite reads Burns well. But it's that late switch from Freddie Burns that's causing Treviso the problems at the moment.
Players make dummy runs, expect them to get tackled, because that person doesn't know if the pass is going to be taken.
Goneva's try. Long discussion going between Tom Youngs and Ben Whitehouse about dummy runners.
You're running a line to attract the defender.
Nicky Goneva, he got 6 European Cup tries and 20 appearances.
Derek, 29 gone.
And Freddie Burns, having made that try, steadies himself and ready for the conversion.
Okay. Timekeeper, 29 minutes gone, is that correct?
Yeah, 29 gone.
Thanks.
Yeah,
it's good, 21-0.
Yeah, you mentioned the sweepers, Ben, and they're both out of position. Lucchesi and Hayward, here they are. There's Lucchesi on the blind side, the scrum off. Normally would be in behind, and the fullback's miles out of position. Should be central behind the ball. Freddie Burns spots it. It's a great chase from Goneva, creating the try.
Aaron Major on the left as we look there alongside Cockrell. And Treviso again, one thing I noticed against Stade Francais is they just didn't mix up the restarts. Length and length and length, and Leicester cleared enough.
They're not able to ease the pressure. Leicester are attacking Treviso because Treviso are really struggling to get their big fatties from the front 5 away from the outside channels. And you can see Leicester trying to run flat runner forwards and then give it in behind to the likes of Tuolangi and Gonova to use their feet against the props who've been working in the scrum. They're struggling to get back into the midfield. Really, you want those big front five forwards patrolling the midfield with your quicker men on the outside. And at the moment they're not doing that. Leicester trying to attack them.
Good, yeah.
Montoriol took it down at the line out again for Treviso. And Barbieri once more. He had that brief spell here at Welford Road. And Lucchesi gives it on to Polo.
Tackle, release!
Ambrosini finds support again from Barbieri. And Ambrosini pokes this one through low.
Inside.
It's good distance. Hayward thinking about a quick one and deciding upon it.
Stay. Good.
Ambrosini gets length on it once again. Burns flings it infield. And Ben Youngs sees plenty of space there. But Ambrosini comes across.
Good. Go back, back.
And there's a bit of space there as well. The bounce, though, sits up nicely enough for Burns. Penalty this time to Treviso. They're putting some nice passages of play together, breathing hard. But
absolutely,
you have to release
I think their competition at the breakdown's really good. The quality of the kicking is probably the thing that's letting them down the most at the moment, because they're never being able to put kicks in that they can put enough pressure on Leicester, and Leicester finding it easy to get back into that Treviso 22. If they can shore up their accuracy of their kicking, there's a good chance here that we can see the first real attack from a line-out potentially driven.
Well, just inside the 22, the line-out will be for Treviso. Just about the best attacking position they've had if they can secure this ball.
Wait till they hit the ground, lads. Yeah, wait till they hit the ground.
It's the first visit to the 22.
Good.
And Lazzaroni gives it down to Polo. Good work by Treviso, and the defence disappears. My word, where did it go? Try for Treviso. Try for Andrea Pratichetti. Questions to be asked about the Tigers' defence. Melted away into the night. Treviso have a try.
Well, it's one of those that's probably been a bit too easy for Leicester's defence. And the first real attack, and Treviso go over. Simple move from the back of the line out. One player around the corner. Tom Young's left on his own. Jordan Crane doesn't shut the hinge and come in and support his man. So Tom Young's left with a 2-on-1. He steps in as he's meant to, because no one gets away from the tail of the line out. Maybe Jordan Crane just a little bit wide in his defensive positioning, but they'll also probably from a defensive aspect be asking questions about the guys from the front of the line out and their speed to get round the corner.
Well, it has got over the conversion. It was one of the worst kicks I've ever seen, but
just skimmed the bar.
It just skimmed the bar and went over. There is a conversion. It's a 7-point try for Treviso. Rarely did training ground moves come on. So let's have a look at this conversion again. Never in doubt. Have a look at that try again at some point, because a pure training ground move that was almost as if defending on training ground as well. Some token resistance by the Tigers. It's a Marco Fuser has come on, just an injury replacement.
Use it!
He's come on in the second row for Filo Polo. Leicester, though, on the attack once more. Stung by that try for Treviso. Rather indignant, the Tigers now. And Youngs gives it to Kitchener. On straight through the middle, Ben Youngs now. What are his options? Inside, gives it, but the ball is loose, and Jaden Hayward comes away for Treviso. And Hayward sends it forward into a little bit of space. Rain starting to come down heavily.
Sharp break from Ben Youngs. Jordan Crane just gets a little pull back. Could have well been on Youngs' shoulder. Just watch Jordan Crane there, blue scrum hat, as he gets to break, just gets pulled away. He could well have been there with a 2-on-1. He still gets the ball, but the covers managed to get with him.
Time off.
But that's what Ben Youngs does best.
Yeah, Salesi Manu stretching out an arm and just hauling back Jordan Crane.
I didn't see it.
Just looking back at their try, and I don't know whether this is actually the way that Leicester's set up, so Cole has to step in at the back of the line out to lift, which means he's left isolated Youngs with 2 players. Does the right thing and takes the inside attacker, but then it's too far for Jordan Crane to make up that space. Now, I don't know, Ben, whether that's not how Leicester set up at the back of the line out with a slower guy.
What they'd want is, it's nothing to do with Cole. His job is to lift. They want the guys at 1 and 2 in the line out to get round the corner.
It happens so quickly, how can they get there?
They still should, because as soon as it's thrown over your head, you're running around the front. Now, with Marcus ERCC, they've got someone who's switched on and fast. Maybe that's just lulled Jordan Crane into a false sense of security that someone will be there. Muller-Pola doesn't get there.
Yeah, they're from Derek Bevan.
No, he just pulled him back, the support player, he did.
Just thinking about it. Ben Whitehouse is going to have a look at it, and Derek Bevan thought perhaps not, but they're talking about this pullback. So they are going to have a look at this pullback by Salesi Manu.
Yeah, I was just thinking because the player was through, because the way I saw it was the other way around, but if it's not, we'll have a look.
There we are, he's pulling him back there.
Okay, and that's a blue player pulling a green player? Okay, this is the better view.
There we are, he's got hold of his shirt there.
Can you keep it playing through?
Keep it playing, keep it playing.
Okay, and then he would have been the support player for that pass then, is that correct?
He would have been the support player.
That's going to be penalised because it needs to be, so we're going back for it.
Yeah, okay.
So all the way back they come, and murmurings of assent from Derek Bevan, so it's going to be a penalty, and it's in the 22, right, in a great position for Leicester.
Okay, we've got the 9, goes through, the support player is pulled back by that player there. Number 3,
him.
By that player, okay, we cannot do it. I'm happy he was here. Yeah?
You can't easily hide Salesi Manu.
Hang on.
But it's one of those things that's infuriating.
Can you show us the position where the pullback was, please?
See, I think that's a yellow card. It's a professional foul. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's prevented a try.
Here it comes, Ben.
The argument is, would Cole, would Jordan Crane have got there? Yes, he would he have scored? Maybe not, we don't know.
Cheers, Ben. Yep,
but it's just enough to be evident. I think it's a yellow card.
Pull back. Scrum. No! We're not going quick.
Everybody just calm down for a moment.
Quick. Captain!
So Ben Whitehouse
scrum there,
takes control.
What do you want? We've changed the mark, so I'm asking what do you want? Corner. Right.
Okay, so they had thought about the scrum, and they've changed their mind and going for the corner. So I think is that... Has he tried to bite off too much there? No, it is near enough perfect. It will give them a 5-metre line out. Ben Youngs has smiled at Freddie Burns. And so into the final 5 minutes in this first half, Leicester with 3 tries and Treviso with the most recent, but Leicester again will menace the Italians' try line here. Youngs again, long, beautifully taken down by Kitchener, and now Muller-Pola charging on, just short.
Playing
advantage to the Tigers. Penalty is theirs, but try is theirs now for Adam Thompson into the sand and over for try number 4 for the Tigers.
Oh yeah, Muller-Pola just gives such good go forward. Doesn't get there himself. It's a wonderful tackle on him. Low bowling ball type tackle.
Okay.
Good move, great take from Kitchener. They roll out, give it to Muller-Pola, one-on-one.
Pratichetti, fantastic tackle.
Absolutely, but then out on that wing, there's no one there at home, and just that moment of indecision. Do I need to drift out wider?
Sorry, mate.
Or can I jam in?
I got confused with the 10
from the second row?
First try of the season for Adam Thompson. Poor old Pratichetti, all that effort in that tackle there for nothing ultimately, as Leicester get their bonus point try.
This really is a fantastic tackle. Textbook, goes low, gets a little bit of help from Ambrosini, but then you've got your right winger on the floor. So your left winger on the floor, your right winger scores the try.
Yes, Muller-Pola did a bit of damage. Thompson scores, and Freddie Burns, tight angle, adds the extra 2 points. So Leicester 3 minutes to go, 28-7 to the good.
But having Mullapola coming around the corner, it's like we've seen there two things where ERCC gives you a little bit more defensive prowess around the back of the line out, but Mullapola coming just ties in so many defenders, and that means on the outside it's Montoriol who has to try and decide, do I need to go wide if he passes, or do I jam in and try and make the hit? Gets caught between both, and Thompson scores, but just dragging those extra defenders with the carry from Mullapola.
Again, it's the long restart down the middle from Treviso, and given by Bell to Burns, and a simple enough clearance.
Leicester on the line, Sean.
So Leicester heading for victory, heading for the top of this pool after defeat earlier today for Stade Francais. There's a Filipolo who I think is done. We thought it might be a temporary one, but Filipolo is off and giving the blank stare of a man who thinks he knows his game is over. But yes, Stade Francais losing in Limerick, losing at Thomond Park to Munster, so Leicester with victory here will finish on top of the pool. This time it doesn't work through Montoriol, but Treviso still get it.
Yep, fine.
And Lucchese
tackle release
on to Gega. And there's a replacement in the second row, Marco Fuser. And Ambrosini gives it back to his captain. Scarby feels that one. Barrow was in there. Now carried on by Gega for Treviso. And Ambrosini to Hayward. Nice play now, carried on by Pratichetti. And Treviso into the final minute in this first half. Treviso on the front foot. Ambrosini rather loose pass. Here is Salesi Manu, nearly intercepted on El Gega. Advantage Treviso.
Advantage over.
It was just a scrum advantage, so over now, and a little bit loose again. Backwards, but a bit of a mess now. And Pratichetti scoops it up and into touch he goes. And still time for one more passage of play.
Oh, huge hit early on in that movement.
Just kiss the line.
Just a bit of footwork, Barrow. Oh, look at that, head on head.
Gum shield out as well. Oof. Look at the gum shield in the air.
It's a Jacques Berger patented face tackle. But look at this, Croft just flying out on the line here, making a mistake, but there's no substitute for pace. Should have been a 2-on-1. He realises his mistake, gets back and makes his own tackle. Really good defence from Thompson on that wing, not to commit to the tackle and lose out on the 2-on-1 pass. He just waits, knows that Croft's got the pace to get back and recover, and he just hangs off. They lose a few metres on the outside, but they don't lose anything more serious.
It's so difficult, that, as a winger, when you're faced with two guys and you think, right, I've been told all week I've got to take the line speed forward, I've got to step in. You lose your inside defender because he stepped too far. It's a really difficult skill to back off and use the touchline as your friend. Did a very good job there.
Arnold Gega is struggling, so Davide Ghiazzone is going to come on, a blood replacement, as you can see. So Ghiazzone is on, Italian international. As Gega goes off to get patched up, but he'll be back with us, I'm sure, for the second half. And on for a final few seconds in this half is Ghiazzone there. 30th birthday today. Welcome to your 30s, Davide Ghiazzone.
6. 6 or 5? 5.
I'll look at the how the line-out has gone for Leicester. It's a 100% success. I thought there was one earlier, was a bit of an overthrow. That one comes down okay through Kitchener, and Leicester looking for one final try. They have the bonus point trial ready as Tuolangi takes it in. And then Thompson tries to score. That's a mighty handoff. And Lucchese felt the force of that one, the Treviso scrum half. And Burns loses it, so Treviso. Lucchese. And there is Ghiazzone.
No advantage for a knock-on.
And that will be that in the first half. No chance to have a look at that mighty handoff again, but it was quite impressive. So Leicester in charge, they're heading for victory. They've got their 4 tries at the moment. They've got their bonus point in the bag. Treviso with that 1 try, so 5 tries. A few things to talk about after the break.
We just need to look after Kitchie. He got lifted in the line out and fell on his back, so we just need to look after him really for next week.
Well, the second half commentary comes from Andrew Cotter.
Thank you very much, Tim, with Richard Blaze, and as I mentioned there, Graham Kitchener is off in the second row and replaced by Sebastian de Chavez, and we will see plenty of other changes in the second half. Leicester, I suspect, are going to win this and win this comfortably, so a few other players to have a look at. And already Leicester with early ball to play with. Fitzgerald gives it on to Lange, gives it to nobody in particular. And Burns now to Tate. Little dot forward. And nicely placed. Arnold Gega is back on for Guiazon at hooker for Treviso. That was a blood replacement. So that is reversed. But as you see, Leicester 28-7 with that bonus point try in the first half. They look to kick on from here. What are you looking for in the second half, Ben?
From Treviso perspective, they've just got to try and get the field position. They were woeful with their kicking accuracy in the first half, and that's what led to all their problems, not playing in the right area of the field. From a Leicester point of view, it's getting that pace and intensity up, which they had in the first 10 minutes, and trying to build on that and make sure that they get some of the flowing attacking rugby that Aaron Major's been looking for.
And you see it on the closer camera shot there that the rain is coming down. It's sleety rain, promised snow. The less glamorous rain is here.
Outside.
And that was taken back in, so it's effectively straight out. And Lucchese complains,
holding the players in. Just inside.
Well, to no avail, so back they come, and Leicester are trying to set off quickly, but Ben Whitehouse brings them back.
Take them back in.
Untidy start to the second half.
Take them back in. From the line.
Treviso for a long time with the standard bearers for Italian rugby, but they've slipped behind Zebri. They lost a double header to Zebra around Christmas and New Year, and that was the end of their coach Umberto Casalato. Say Marius Husum is their temporary coach, and then Kieran Crowley is coming in. Leicester again on the attack, and Tuilangi.
6 straight in the side.
But infringement from Mike Fitzgerald for Leicester, so Treviso's penalty. And Ambrosini sends it towards the sizable stand that exists now there at Welford Road. Really is huge. 25,000 plus they can get in here, and they did have Northampton. They almost had 26,000 inside this. A few great rugby arenas around England now. Franklin's Gardens itself is very impressive, but Welford Road has always been a fortress, but now takes on even more of that castle-like hue. Now Treviso, once again Barbieri. That was rather chaotic, as Barbieri is told that he's fine to carry on. Into Cole he goes.
Use it!
And up it goes from Lucchese. Gonova coming forward for it, but taken down nicely.
Brilliant take.
Ambrosini. There's a little dummy, and away he goes.
Chance is gone.
This is better from Treviso, but better followed by a rather woeful kick out in the full, and back he'll come.
It hasn't been touched.
That was Simone Ragusi with the misplaced kick. On, away they go. Ben Youngs, Leicester attacking through Youngs, has support, but Ben Youngs goes all the way himself. They took it quickly. Youngs caught everybody unawares. In for the try at the start of the second half, and Leicester beyond 30.
Yeah, really important at the end. Just that ability to ride the last challenge meant that Thompson could run as a legal blocker. Everyone switches off, nice and slow. Youngs calls it, runs a good line, blindsiding the Treviso players, and just being able to ride this challenge means that Thompson can run as a legitimate support player. He even blindsides the referee, who's struggling to keep up with him.
So the crowd have just seen the referee's little hands pumping there to try and keep up, but it was great quick thinking by Ben Youngs. Austin appreciated that.
It was almost like it was pre-called, this, and let's have a look at this at some stage. People will walk into it. He comes from a long way back, Ben Youngs, spots the opportunity and then takes it. I thought the footwork was really nice to beat Ambrosini. Made him long in the tackle, got to the outside.
So I thought that was a great example there as Freddie Burns prepares to take the conversion. Dan Cole's come off, incidentally. A great example of what a referee has to go through to try and keep up with play, and a great view of things there. Trying to slide back for Burns, but just the wrong side of the upright. a great quick thinking try.
Just backing up what Austin says, look where he comes from. He's right back there, but because he's already on the move, everyone else is stationary. He can accelerate onto the ball, and there's no way any of those players are going to be able to get back to him. If that was in open play, it'd be a really good line. It's just as good a line, despite it being a line out.
Ben Whitehouse's speed off the mark was not quite as sharp as some of the other players. He was left for a moment, but his top end speed was okay. Wrong studs on. Long restart again from Treviso. They don't change that tactic. It's straight down the middle for try and buy themselves some territory. Hayward is thinks better of the quick one this time. So Dan Cole off, and Fraser Balmain has come on in the front row for Leicester. There he is again. Just a few players to have a look at. They know they have that luxury now. This game is going to be won, so they can look at some other players.
Wait, more. Wait.
Treviso have ball to play with here, and there is a Barbieri
19
holding it at the back again and steering the ball on pretty well, and Barbieri into Youngs. And Lucchese looks for options, and Ambrosini has it, but it's deep, well behind the gain line. Tuolangi was flying up on his opposite number, Scarby. Alberto Scarby was strong enough to ride that challenge. And he did hurtle himself forward, Tuolangi. Still there for Treviso. Rain continues to tumble down here, and the mark
10 metres
is called by Bell.
That'll do, thank you. 10 metres, that's 10.
A little bit inaccurate with the kicking. Allows Leicester just an easy way to clear their lines. Just they managed to. No, keeps it in well.
No, just
Manu Tuolangi is so desperate to make a big hit, and he is a little bit guilty of doing this, but look how far out of the line he is.
Substitution.
Now, against a better organised attack, that could cause problems with the dog leg of running almost tempting him out of the line, then running a short runner off into the gap he's left behind him between Tate and Burns.
Time is off, time is off.
Well, it was Lucchese. Oh, he's kept that in. It's a wrong decision for the touch judge on this occasion.
Time on.
Well, it's close actually. The ball has got to be down on the ground, so maybe it was a correct decision, assistant referee. So Kitto's on for Ben Youngs. Ben Youngs' final act to score that try, and John O'Kitto is on, and Marcos Gersa is on for...
Play advantage.
He's come on in the front row for Mulapola.
It's a freebie for Treviso here if they can win this ball. They want to play quick and use that advantage. There's the gamble.
Ambrosini over the top and into the arms, but coming back.
18.
The penalty to Treviso.
18, side entry.
Side entry it was from Fraser Balmain, fresh on the field.
Well, I don't want
again, right option to kick and just lift it over the top. Don't want to play through too many phrases and lose that advantage, but again, just too far. Allowed Tommy Bell to come forward and take it easily.
Treviso getting ready to make all their replacements in the front row. See Giazon coming back on Sheriff Traore, you saw there as well.
Number 1,
and
2,
Simone Ferrari.
and 3 substitutions.
There is Sheriff Traore.
Time is off.
And it's not a pleasant evening. Is that all? That's almost snow.
No problem, time is off.
It's a winter wonderland. Onel Gega off then, replaced the hooker by Davide Giazon. Sheriff Traore is on for Alberto Di Marchi at loose head prop, and on comes the Ferrari.
How many?
For Salesi Manu at tight head. So Giazon, the shot to the front, and Marco Fusa takes it down.
Outstanding line-out defence. It's exactly
knock on.
Textbook. We all see how teams are being able to build line-out drives and how successful that's become as a weapon for all teams, both internationally and at club level. There, Leicester, as it lands, get the timing perfect, the leg drive, the fresh legs coming on Balmain and Hayat, so they drive it towards the touchline, and as it's going backwards, the referee will look more favourably if it collapses.
Weather update, definite snow now at Welford Road. We're all very excited about that. Nearly 50 minutes on the clock, and Leicester with that one try added in the second half.
Good.
There's John O'Kitto on the far side, ball in hand. Very lively. New Zealand under 20 scrum half, although at best I think it might be England qualified. So that's it's a fifth scrum that's ended in a fifth penalty for Leicester. So scrum hasn't gone at all well for Treviso. We'll make it 4 penalties conceded by Treviso.
How many?
See, a little bit low with the elbow there initially. He just follows down with his knee low.
On the line,
Hayert's really good at being able to just let you go. If you want to go that low, he'll let you go down, and then you won't be able to support your own body weight.
Inside the 15.
Well, I know that Manu Tuolangi wanted to have a big game today, but he's got one more passage to play to do something. I think Pete Beetham is waiting to come on in his place.
Hands away! Hands away! Thank you. There we are.
He's in there at the moment trying to secure that ball, and there's Tom Youngs.
Away!
And Kittle gives it on to Crane.
Tackle!
Much better line speed from Treviso now. They're actually getting out the blocks, putting Leicester on the back foot. You see it again.
Here's Tuolangi. Can he conjure something up perhaps with his final effort of this match? Good strength as we expect from the Giant centre. An advantage penalty there to Leicester. Quickly taken by John O'Kitto.
All onside, fine.
And into the 22.
It's still in, it's a rock.
So the pick up from Mike Fitzgerald, who acts as scrum half. And there is Burns. Deep it goes to Tommy Bell. Crafted little boot forward. It's Jordan Crane trying to run onto it. Looked like almost a clash of heads, but everyone's okay.
Knock on,
but there's a
offside.
knock on and then the offside as a result of that. I think Jordan Crane, I thought he'd taken a bit of a knock there, but he's fine. And a quickly taken penalty into touch will give Leicester the attacking position once again. So Beetham is coming on, and Manu Tuolangi there in the background is going to be coming off.
A good last carry from Manu Tuolangi. Bit of a defensive error to turn your shoulders towards the touchline when you're defending outside. It's Sam Christie that does it, and Tuolangi just runs at the outside shoulder of the man that he's in, and he knows that there's not going to be a jam from the outside from Christie, and you can take easy meters on the outside. But again, just another phase in the rehabilitation of Manu Tuolangi.
It's all game time, taken down nicely at the line-out by the Chavez, and Leicester try and get this maul going towards the line, making good ground, and again reset themselves a little breakaway group, and then reattached and drive once more, looking for try number 6. Leicester were wandering around, going no particular forward direction at the moment. Tate, nothing he can do to skip around Ragusi, but still with Leicester. Burns chasing this one down himself. Will he get there? He does! Try for Freddie Burns. Made one earlier for Donovan, scores this one himself. And Leicester have their second try of the second half, 6 in total.
Treviso do really well in the first instance to stop Leicester's driving maul game. But then as the ball comes out, you don't think there's anything on. They're numbered off defensively, they look very strong. And he sees the opportunity to the outside. He knows that the pitch is wet, he knows that it's a bit cloggy, and this ball's not going to skip on. One thing's for sure, if you don't score those, if you don't finish them, you pay for it on Monday morning with the coaching staff. But it's a great try, well executed.
Particularly as Beetham had run out on an outside line, but he spotted that the reserve hooker Gearzon was in front of him, wasn't going to be able to turn and beat him for pace. Just looks up, there's the man, kicks it in behind. Scarby a little bit slow to react as well.
Hang on.
No, his try made, scored and converted. 40 points up for Leicester. Treviso making a couple of changes as well. Robert Barbieri is off. It's a handshake with Ben Youngs again, former teammates. Bram Steen is on for Barbieri. Talented young South African there. He is a former South African under 20. And Enrico Bacchina is on for Sam Christie in the centre. But Jaden Hayward restarts things with a long one down the middle again. Do not deviate from that game plan. Tommy Bell gives it to Tate. And taken in by Ambrosini.
Away, green.
Stein, first touch.
Use it.
Ooh, threatening tone from the referee. Lazzaroni.
Away.
And Ambrosini times it to Ragusi.
Ball's out.
And Lucchesi. Bit more zip about the play from
Away now.
Treviso. Lazzaroni does his bit again. Ambrosini.
Come away.
Lucchesi, good pick-up. It was by Bakin in the replacement centre. Sharif Traore. Going through the phases here, 7, 8 and continuity, but just slowing down for a moment. Little chip through from their captain Scarby. Possession given away to Gonova. Shovels it on.
Knocked forward.
And John O'Kitto loses it.
Knocked forward.
The biggest problem Treviso have had when they've actually had ball in attacking areas is if someone does get on the front foot and provide them with a bit of momentum from a carry, there's then no urgency either from the players supporting to clear out and get quick ball, but more importantly, leading it, the halfbacks should be screaming, saying, quick ball, let's get round the corner. They're not, and it just gives Leicester the chance to get around the corner, number up in defence, and then they're back to square one again.
Well, perhaps the loudest cheer of the evening for Tom Young's coming off after it's been a tricky week for him. Harry Thacker is on. Again, a talented young Leicester man himself, so Young's...
Well, one of the areas that people were suggesting he might have been left out of the England squad was because of his line-out statistics. 100% for him tonight to add to 100% leading into this game. He's certainly proving a few people, or a few people's perceptions of him wrong at the moment.
So Harry Thacker is on in the half that front row. His father was a Leicester hooker as well. Troy, what a great name.
Crouch.
This is the sort of game that'll suit Harry Thacker. He's a real live wire. We saw him under real pressure at the set piece against Saracens, and that's always going to be his problem. He's not the biggest of players.
Hinging.
Well, first time a penalty there for Treviso at the scrum.
But what he will add is
you changed
almost an extra number 7 and a big ball carrier around the field.
Gersa disagreeing with that decision, as he would, and Ambrosini kicking for touch. No thoughts of 3 points at this point for Treviso. Nothing to be gained from that.
I was on the other side, so next time I will come on this side. Okay, I will come there the next side. I did not see it, I will come there next side.
Didn't look too straight as it was taken down by Montoriol.
Yeah.
And Davide Giazon. Again, the hooker disagreeing with that. Studs are cleared and ready for the scrum once again. So the referee will go over as promised to Marcos Gersa's side and have a look at things.
I think I just
Please show me the
slightly that
okay? You were head to head
was
because you were in a little bit. Eventually you opened up, but opened up.
listening to the referee speaking to Traore, but just a little bit low is what Ajertz is saying. So it's on the other side, isn't it?
Just watching that dynamic as well between Gersa and a young replacement hooker Harry Thacker. What experience from Gersa and Thacker, and he'll try and see him through. And he'll learn so much, Thacker, from these kind of experiences.
Point. Set.
One of the squinter feeds in a world of squint feeds. Now Traore is down. Penalty this time to Leicester.
Yeah, it's a really good
both sides
scrum from Balmain.
Both sides down.
If you have someone like Harry Thacker alongside you, really important that the tight head does his job and wins his battle early, because otherwise all the pressure's going to go in on the hooker.
So Freddie Burns into touch in this last match of Saturday in round 5 in the European Champions Cup. Tomorrow, Toulon against Wasps is 3 o'clock kickoff in BT Sport Europe HD. That is in Pool 5. Got Northampton against Glasgow as well in BT Sport Europe. And then we've got highlights, all the highlights of the weekend tomorrow night, 7:30. Highlights around 5 on BT Europe HD. Snow continues to come down, knocked down nicely by Tom Croft. The pass isn't the greatest for Beetham, but he gets it back. And good work by John O'Kittle. Strong, lively, scrum half. And Crane. And Kittle gives it to Burns. And on to Mike Fitzgerald.
Tackle! Good.
So Leicester beginning to make a bit more ground as we head towards the final quarter of this match. Tate. Double hit by Lazzaroni and Fuzer. There's Jordan Crane once more.
Away.
Taken down by Bakin and Kittle. Ajersa.
Stay.
He took a good thump, managed to get it back, and Kittle was disrupted by Montoriol, but still with Leicester, and Crane again. Building through the phases once more. Tate.
Stay down.
Not making too much ground, Leicester. Again going through the phases, but just battering away around the gain line, not breaching it.
Part of the problem, Kitto's just a little bit slow at the base. He's taking a while to look up when the ball's presented. Leicester are clearing quickly, but just look.
Ball's won. It's a blue ball.
Blue have stolen it.
Fine, ball's out.
9 phases, they were going backwards, then stolen in the end by Treviso. So not Leicester's proudest moments in this match, and Treviso have the scrum. Grande indeed. There's John O'Kittle. Same in his Tigers debut against Wasps in November, a New Zealand under-20 player, but talk about him being England qualified. Everybody's qualified for every country these days.
It's a massive game tomorrow for Wasps. They can go to Toulon and get a losing bonus point. They could still qualify in that group. Amazing to see how so many of the groups have panned out. Ospreys, you'd have thought they'd have been top of Clermont's group going into the final round.
Yeah, that is a great pool. There's still so much could happen.
Let's go, lads.
The excitement levels have dropped around Welford Road just a little bit. The scoring has paused for a moment, and a few scrums, a bit of disruption to play, and Leicester not making too much ground through the Treviso defence in the last few phases. So Alberto Lucchesi holds that ball, and Treviso get the free kick, and taken on by Bram Steen, and then given out to Scarby and Lazzaroni. Traore. Well, Ajersa and De Chavez met him well. Eventually it's Bouton ball. A beautiful little pass. Finds support from Thompson.
Knocked on at the touch. You've taken
it's
it.
a lovely switch back to begin with. They're back on the counter again though, Treviso. Much better kick this time.
It was Ragusi spotted a bit of space and he chased it down himself, but deep into the Leicester 22 through the snow at Welford Road. And Treviso having just a few more moments in this second half. All the changes, of course, unsettling both teams, but you suspect that Leicester, the job is done. It's always difficult for a side to keep on kicking on.
I don't think I've ever seen a Mexican wave at Welford Road before, but one's just been trying to start in the new stand. But my problem with Treviso is there again. We saw them win the kicking battle, but too many players stationary in front of the ball when they tried to play in behind. It just didn't fool any defenders, and they're not getting any opportunities to back up good bits of momentum.
It's Marius Knudsen. He's once a fly half. It doesn't look like a fly. Once a fly half with Treviso, many other clubs besides, and you see the weight of the snow coming down now here in the East Midlands.
Yep, that is good.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. There is a wave start, but it's just a hardcore of wave fanatics in that corner who are doing it back and forth, little ripples of about 20 metres or so from side to side.
I think it's the one area of the stand that hasn't got much protection. They're just trying to keep warm.
Wait.
Held at the back by Jordan Crane, and Kitto a little faint, and then into touch. So Austin, come in, Austin.
Well, just going to demystify a bit of a slang term, the switchback. What it means is when the fullback gets the ball, he wants the defence to think he's going in one direction across the field. But what he's actually trying to do is isolate the winger by coming back to him. Watch what he does. He goes one way, steps back to the winger, isolates, get to the edge, and you get your winger down the blind side. That's known as a switchback as a back three player.
Look at that, bottom 20 metres or so.
Ball. Greens.
Changes as well made by Leicester, and Lawrence Pearce is on for Mike Fitzgerald in the back row. Ball boy is a little slow.
Okay, come in, step in. 4, captain. What's his name? Get him in the line. In the line. Thank you.
Shrug from the ball boy. Just drawing the ball for you, sir. Gear zone then. That might well have been stolen. Has fine contest, says the referee. So Leicester have pinched it, and they'll get the scrum.
Going forward.
Impressive by Croft, so quick into the air.
A fair contest in the air. It's got a little green.
Gets up in front.
Captain after the line out to cheer.
Shapes his body across the line. Probably more importantly, in the eyes of the assistant, manages to land half on his feet in a good competitive position.
Such a great asset in the line out, Tom Croft. Got the better of Montoriol there.
But the reason he's so good is if you have a player who's lifting one of two jumpers and switching backwards and forwards between the both, Croft can get pretty much all the way up there without the back lifter being there. So he just has to come late and finish off the lift, and Croft gets right up to his full height.
Let's see how the scrum goes. Kitto doesn't go very well from Traore's point of view. Tries to get back up, but TMO is telling Ben to Whitehouse to reset.
I think he just wants to get it out with that muddy pitch under their feet.
And that's probably just about right. Little knock on. Thought it might have gone sideways, but a knock on. Beetham and scrum to Treviso. The game has just broken up a little bit. 15 minutes to go. The result is beyond doubt. And Leicester are going to finish top of this pool. They're going to have a home quarter final.
10 green. Number 10? 10.
Oh, sorry, I blame Beetham, and yeah, certainly not Beetham. Poodle Beetham.
Time off second.
Just took his eyes off the ball, didn't he?
So Thompson, the culprit, and Bell. Sorry, Tommy Bell. I'm just basically blaming everybody inside. Peering through the snow here at Welford Road. Freddie Burns is off. No mistake about that. Sinamaya Bai is coming on as a plays. A good game for Freddie Burns tonight.
Yeah, very good game. Very accurate off the tee. Good opportunal kicks in behind. He's had to come off though because his quiff can't cope with the snow. So he's going to get that under wraps. Sinamaya Bai is a lot more well equipped there to deal follically with these sorts of conditions.
Yes, he is. That's all I will say. 14 minutes to go. Still that scoreboard. Remain rooted of 40 points to 7 for some time now. That's one try in the second half from Leicester, from Ben Youngs. Opportunistic try. Feed from Lucchese, near enough to the second row. Penalty to Leicester from the scrum. Down go the Treviso scrum again. So a chat from Ben Whitehouse.
Tight edge. Okay. Captain.
So Alberto Scarby is summoned forward, the captain.
I know you may be in the centre, and maybe I'm talking about the scrum, okay? Yeah, but you must tell your players this cannot continue, okay? We are nearly every scrum, or almost every scrum, we are having a penalty against your side, okay? Bar 1 or 2. This time we've had 2 against this man. We've had some against the loose head and the loose head and the tight.
Just nod, Alberto. Just nod.
We cannot continue scrummaging and then them changing into penalties. Okay, you know where I'm coming from, and if you continue, I have to escalate. Okay, to see if that will work. Please tell your players to stay up. And we'll go.
Thanks, Rev.
I think Alberto needs to say to him, well, what shall I say to them? Because what do you say?
Be stronger.
Are they getting pushed from behind?
Better.
Yeah. Go and do 6 months in the gym, get really strong, and then it might not happen.
It's hard work in the front row for Treviso. face of Simone Ferrari. Himself is a fairly late replacement to the bench. Filippetto had to pull out, but Ferrari, so he's somewhere down the pecking order in front row stakes for Treviso. So Thacker trying to smuggle it away. And being held at the back by the replacement hooker. Still there, Thacker. Letting the bigger men in front of him do most of the work, and he's just seeing where he can pop up. Still having a look. Still going forward. John O'Kittle giving a telling off, but Leicester are making good ground. It's fine, says the referee, so Leicester will try and do something else with it now, and Kittle gives it wide. Crossfield kick. It's well placed for Thompson to try and get underneath it. Can't quite take it down. And Treviso fall gratefully upon it through Andrea Pratichetti. And back it comes from Lucchesi to Ragusi.
No, I didn't. No.
A good clearing kick.
Well, it was, except that there was no one in behind for Leicester because they were all up chasing this kick.
No. He didn't pull it down.
Thompson does well to get in front of the backtracking man, just can't quite hold on to the ball.
Let's go.
Hayward does quite well. He knows that Thompson's trying to get in front of him, so he takes an extra step and tries to close that gap. Worst thing you can do there is allow the ball to be won cleanly in there. You've got to get up and try and compete. Take the control away from the attacking winger. It's been a good battle on that right wing, hasn't it? Between Thompson and Pratichetti.
Certainly has. Thacker finds his target. Ball knock on, comes the call for the referee as Thacker tried to fall upon it, and so Treviso have the scrum. Just a few too many mistakes from a Leicester and Richard Cockerell's point of view. I think they'd like to be a bit more clinical in the second half.
Yeah, we've seen Leicester trying to drive the ball, probably with the game breaking up and the accuracy gone a bit. Maybe they feel that if they can get the driving play, tie in some defenders, then they can open it up again.
Injury?
Conditions not helping, but the players should be able to deal with them.
It's always the way as well when your entire bench comes onto the field. You're always going to lose continuity no matter how well drilled you are in the week, particularly when it's snowing.
Nearing the final 10 minutes. There's still some scoring to come from this match, but it really has stalled. The deed is done. Leicester are going to be top of this pool. Lucchesi feeds that scrum again. It's buckling for Treviso, going backwards. Penalty to Leicester, and this has to be more than a talking to now.
18.
Man summoned is Simone Ferrari.
It was a penalty. This is the third in a row for you. It has to be a yellow
going
card.
for the pocket. So Ferrari back in the garage.
In and
That's
down.
just terrible. I apologise. Anyway, into touch, and now Treviso down to 14 men. So there are, well, these are times that Leicester want to seize upon now. Surely there are a couple more tries at least for them.
If my Ferrari looked like that, I'd send it back.
Sleek Italian design. He's actually the great nephew of Enzo Ferrari, who founded Ferrari. And made that up entirely. Leicester 5 metres out. Taken down safely, unchallenged by Treviso. Lazzaroni trying to do his defensive work on the flanks there. A little knock on from Leicester, so a fumble. That sums up the second half. They've had these positions, and
he's hit that secondary pod. Knock on.
Again, just not being quite as tidy, clinical as they could be.
Knock on.
But the scrum will be interesting. There's going to be they'll have to bring someone else into the front row, make a change, so back row will probably come off.
Say it again, sorry. Yeah, who do you want? Okay. You're back on. Let's go, again.
So Salesi Manu is back on, and they're taking off Ragusi, the winger, temporarily. So
True. Take a little step back.
Manu just stiffened up nicely.
Don't want any lead.
Back on you go. Scrum on your own line.
So got a full complement in the pack at least now, because the winger Ragusi is off, and Salesi Manu enjoying being back in the field. It is Treviso ball.
Crouch.
For now.
Bind. Set.
And Traore is down on the ground again. Penalty to Leicester. This has not been an enjoyable night for Sheriff Traore. There we are, tells the tale. 8 penalties conceded at the scrum. There was that one for Treviso, but not taking the scrum.
You were
Leicester.
on your knees before that ball even came in, okay? And it continues. His body position is legal.
They probably feel that they've had enough scrum practice.
You wait till they come down
Got
and you
more
take the ball
chance of
carrier.
righting a few wrongs that they've had at the line-out drive, and a few balls that have ended up bobbling out when they should have been secured.
So Thacker doesn't quite go to hand this time. A juggle with it from Bram Steen. And the young South African sets off. Treviso down to 14 men, remember.
Down to 13 at the moment with Montorial just toppling at the line-out, landing flat on his back.
So down effectively to 13. Lucchese. Yeah, when it gets too close to the man being treated, Montorial with the physio, you have to stop play.
He can't play it. He's into the injured player.
He lands on the top of his shoulders, just arching back to win the ball.
He can't play on,
ends up toppling
injured and they've got into
over the arms of Croft and his own lifter.
Can I ask you a little favour?
Of course you can.
Just check that. The early shove a little bit, please.
Okay.
I think that was Purul Salesimanu as a lifter as well. I say Purul Salesimanu, more for Montorial. Yeah, 5 minutes ago he was sitting thinking about a cup of tea on the sidelines. As you say, just got warm.
It's fine.
Some great physio there, just coming on and putting the ice pack on. He's thinking, please don't do that, I'm cold enough.
Yes, but the one before I felt we had a bit of a lean on because the gap was slightly too big, and that's why we had the pre-engagement.
So we get ready to scrum again. Alberto Scarby's in from centre to have a chat as captain with Ben Whitehouse.
I think Bram Steen also came up to the referee and just said, just watch the early shove, you've got to try everything just to... I think the reason we've been going back and giving away so many penalties is because Leicester have been pushing early. It's just not a great... You should really... Your eyes should be up. Your eyes should be up. You see all good props as they approach. None of them are looking down at their toes before they bind up.
Keep an eye, ref, on how they're scrumming better than us. Well, that's pretty solid from Treviso this time. Then down it goes. So the referee penalty to Treviso. Perhaps those chats worked.
Well, it's the bind against ERCC.
Small victory for Treviso. Time is almost going backwards in this second half now. But we are nearing the end. Leicester 40, Treviso 7. 6 minutes to go on the sin binning.
How many?
The sin binning of Simone Ferrari. And Giazon with the line out for Treviso. Didn't look too straight. Certainly the crowd inside Welford Road thought that doesn't matter, it's going to Leicester in any case. And on the attack again, the Tigers. Here comes Tate, and Tate pins his ears back, makes a little hitch kick, looks for support now. Great break by Matthew Tate, sets it up once again. John Okito gives it. And Crane is the link. There is Beetham.
Release.
A bit of power carries him on. A good pickup, and wide it goes now. And Tom Croft closing in on the line. Is there to be another try here?
Playing advantage.
Treviso offside, penalty coming as Thacker takes it in. Kito is scragged by Salesimanu. Still there for Leicester and off the feet. Untidy, but still there for Jordan Crane. Good to Tom Croft. Croft looks for support and finds it. And the try for Lawrence Pearce. Pearce has the try for Leicester. It's taken a while to come.
Yeah, brilliant initial break from Tate, and as the work rate of Kitto on the inside could have been an earlier try.
Yeah, it's a walk-in for Kitto. He runs a great support line. The ball could have gone to him there, but Tate's got it tucked under one hand. They have to go through 3 or 4 more phases, and eventually
it's a
good
great
ball
offload,
carry,
isn't it?
Croft gets them over the line.
Thacker with the carry as well, just going through the phases. They come back to Croft's side. Crane's little offload out the back door, and Croft matches it off the floor. Yeah, brilliant from Crane. Takes out 2 defenders. Croft gets in behind, and then good support play from Pearce, cutting back against the grain as Tom Croft lifts it into his hands.
So conversion attempt, Tommy Bell. There's been some kicker for Leicester this season. And another one straight enough and true. And another 7-point try for Leicester. 47 points to 7 with 3.5 minutes remaining. And taking advantage, I suppose, of the extra man as well. Been running in the tries here and there and everywhere in this second half, Leicester, but they have another. Will they go long and straight from this restart? Jaden Hayward. It's like variation of theme, just dinked a little bit shorter and higher this time.
Back feet. Use it! Back.
So they do.
Take it in. Hold full. Yep, on sides, yep.
So Bramstein again up over the halfway line. So Treviso with 14 men. Complaints from Lucchese right in the ear of Ben Whitehouse. And Francesco Minto. Flapping of the arms again from Lucchese. And Enrico Bachin carries it on. Upending of Sharif Traore.
Use it!
He does use a menacing tone. There is Francesco Minto again. A regular in the back row for Italy. And Lazzaroni. They're ticking through the phases here, Treviso, without making any real ground. Little juggle from Salesi Manu before he regathers. Ambrosini chips it. Well, poorly directed onto Seremaya Bai, and here's our chance again for Tommy Bell and for Leicester.
Off a leg! Yes.
Into the very final moments, a little knock on from Leicester. Ball for Treviso again, and Lucchese. Ambrosini once more, kick half charge down, so no advantage coming back for the scrum to Treviso. Man of the match time.
Good call, I thought it came off a leg.
Well, it's been pretty much one-way traffic all the way through the game. So many players have left the field. The Youngs brothers have played particularly well. I think Tom Youngs' line out has been fantastic. And Kitchener was pretty good whilst he's been on. Freddie Burns controlled the tempo, was very accurate with the boot. But our Heineken man of the match goes to Don Barrow. His stats, his work rate, his physicality have stood out. And he's our Heineken man of the match.
Well done, Don Barrow, 22-year-old with the big man, 6'8" of him.
And if he doesn't, then you will hear this.
Summer signing from Newcastle, and
if he does, then we play on.
Making an impressive impact here at Leicester. Smile from Richard Cockrell.
Thanks.
What I've liked about Barrow is, particularly defensively, how he's made one tackle and then he immediately reloads and he's straight back into the defensive line, and more often than not making the next tackle. One of them with his face, which was probably the biggest collision of the night.
Injury up.
Well, sleety snow continues to come down here at Welford Road, and we're into the
time on.
Final seconds of this match. Final seconds as well of the sin binning of Simone Ferrari. I hope he gets back on for his final few seconds, Ferrari. I don't know why, I just do. This may well be the final passage of play though, so he might be denied that.
Crouch!
Kittle shouting the orders for Leicester.
Set!
Final swipe clean of the boots and ready to scrum once again. Lucchesi, down it goes, Traore
Reset.
under a bit of
Feet
pressure
just came
again.
away. You can see the slip.
He spent much of this match on the turf.
Yeah, this side it was the ground. This side it was the ground.
There's assistants coming in for the referee. Get their feet in a more credible position. So I think this match is going to peter out in a scrum. Can Treviso secure the ball and do something with this final passage of play? But Leicester are finishing top of this pool, and they'll go into the quarterfinals in a fine position.
Hear me say use it.
Goodness me, he's gone
Just listen.
mad with ecstasy.
Has he?
It's
Feet.
not
Crouch.
easy now, right.
Bind.
The clock is deep into the red.
Hold.
Let's finish this scrum and see what Treviso can do. Another more robust effort from the front row of Treviso, even making an inch or two of ground. Fraser Balmain's being urged on to greater efforts. The ball is there now for Lucchesi. Ambrosini and on. Little knock on. That will be an end to things.
And that's time.
So it's over, and Leicester are winners. 40 points in it, 47 points to 7. Final verdict.
Well, not a stunning second half, but all the work done up front for Leicester in the first 40. And I think, as we saw from Richard Cockle's face, delighted, and we've had a good indication there of why Treviso's season is not setting anyone alight this season. Just not able to get on the front foot, or if they did make the line, no pace to what they were doing with their next phase, and their kicking woefully inaccurate.
Yeah, one-way traffic for Leicester. Good news if you're a Leicester or a Saracens fan. They could finish first and second as the seeds going into the next round, all to play for next week, when the competition will be somewhat stiffer.
Yes, Stade Francais in Paris, and there is the man of the match. Dunbar will be hearing from him in a moment. It's been a bit of a dirty old night weather-wise at Welford Road. Cold night here, but job done. That's what it was all about for Leicester tonight. They knew essentially that they were going to win this match, just had to get the job done, which they did. Winning 47 points to 7, they go into the quarterfinals in fine fettle. They may well, as Austin was saying, be one of the top 2 qualifiers along with Saracens. They will have a home quarterfinal. They play Stade Francais next week in Paris. Again, that will be far more difficult, but they have done enough here. 47 points to 7. I suppose for Leicester the real work was done winning in Munster and winning here against Stade Francais. But tonight they have more or less completed the job. Again, just that one more match to come. But impressive in parts. Manu Tuilagi, things to talk about.